to this week's video. So I asked you guys on Twitter whether you wanted to see a YE in a day or a book haul of books you guys need to read this autumn, and you guys chose the books, which I'm secretly really happy about because YE in a days today would have been really boring, so it would have been like mediocre content. So very happy about that, and I've got a nice little pile of books you guys really need to read this season, whether you're on the way to work or you'll have a day off and it's raining outside, you got the fire on, you're under a blanket and you just need something to read and something that isn't Netflix or YouTube, you just want to have downtime. So I've got a few books up my sleeve that are absolutely perfect this time of year and that I tend to read myself this time of year, and it those sort of links in with the Danish way of living, which is one of my favourite things ever. It's hygge, which is spelled Hygge, and reading with a coffee, with a candle and no lighting, especially in the evening, is like my perfect setting. And yeah, that's all I have to say. So without further ado, if you want to see what books you guys should be picking up from your local bookstore or borrowing from the library to read in this nice cozy season, then carry watching. So I do have 5 books here, and I'll leave the most light-hearted one to last. And I feel like we should start with a book that is the name of this season, and it is of course Annie Smith's Autumn. This one came out, I think, let me double check, 2016, yeah. And she also has a winter one which I'm waiting to come out in paperback, which I think I have seen in Waterstones, but I'm going to pick that up next month, which I'm really excited about. But I picked it up because the cover was absolutely gorgeous, and I generally love Annie Smith. She's one of my favourite authors. Her books are basically like being in an art gallery. It's that kind of vibe. It's so creative and it's so poetic. You just feel good inside, and it makes you feel like you've basically been cultured in some creative form. This one is about Daniel. Okay, I'll just read the blurbs out today. Daniel is a century old. Elizabeth, born in 1984, has her eye on the future. United Kingdom is in pieces, divided by a historic once-in-a-generation summer. Love is won, love is lost. Hope is hand in hand with hopelessness. The seasons run round as ever. So basically, Brexit happened, and then Annie Smith decided to include it in this book. So you do have a little bit of politicalness in here, and I can't remember how the plot goes, but that's a good thing because if I tell you guys, it might ruin it. The dialogue isn't in quotation marks either, which I think is quite unique. I think Annie Smith was one of the first authors where I saw like dialogue done in such a different way, and I was like, hang on, this isn't A-level standard. What is going on? I just thought, if authors who are successful like Annie Smith can do that, why are we told to do that for definite in English GCSE and A-level? I don't know. But basically, I think Elizabeth knows Daniel in a way, and it's just the lives in that season. It's a really good book and perfect for the situation I described at the beginning of the video. I don't know how to talk about these books because I don't want to talk about the plotline, and number 2, I'm really bad at describing plotlines. So we're just going to ignore that fact, but I will leave every link to every book that I talk about in the description box, so you can go to the Waterstones website and read more in detail. But the next one is my absolute favourite book I've ever read at this time of year, and it is called The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And I don't think she's done another book, and I would love another book like this. and it says the circus arrives without warning. No announcements precede it. It's simply there when yesterday it was not. So it's actually about a circus that is open at night, and it follows either children who are entranced by it. It also follows like all the characters in the circus. So you have tarot readers, you have like gymnastics, tightrope walkers, you have, who else you have? There's a lot of, it's like your stereotypical circus but set in another time. I can't remember what time it is. Let me tell you. 1800s! So 1873 is the first bit. So you see how the circus was created and what precedes it, and there's actually sort of like a game woven into it, which is really exciting. So it isn't just reading about circus, and the description is just, you feel like you're there in the circus and you really invest in the characters. There's a lot of character development and there's also a bit of romance going on. I first heard about this through Tiny Bear, like basically 3 years ago. She mentioned this as one of her favourites, so I picked it up, and it's generally one of my favourites. Every time autumn rolls around I will pick this up. I haven't picked it up yet because I actually have some books that I got lent that I'm currently reading, so I'm really enjoying those, but I'll probably pick this up soon. And yeah, I can't describe it, it's just magic. It is, this should be on the list of books you need to read before you die, let's just be honest. The next thing is another magical book, and it's even bigger, and it is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. So this is about magicians. Jonathan Strange is the younger magician and Mr. Norrell is the older one. So he kind of teaches Norrell a bit about magic, and then something happens and then they go their separate ways and they sort of compete. And it is set in the 1800s again, so another period book. I love period books, they just seem very cozy reads. And I don't know if you guys know, there was a series on BBC One about this, so I don't know if you can, I'm going to search on iPlayer because I haven't seen it. I just picked up the book and I actually started reading it when the series was halfway through on BBC One, and I never got around to watching it. And the description is,
it is 1806. England is beleaguered by the Long War with Napoleon, and the centuries have passed since practical magicians faded into the nation's past. But scholars of this glorious history discover that one remains. The recluse of Mr. Norrell, whose displays of magic send a thrill through the country. Proceeding to London, he raises a beautiful woman from the dead and summons an army of ghostly ships to terrify the French. Yet the cautious, fussy Norrell is challenged by the emergence of another magician, the brilliant novice Jonathan Strange. Young, handsome, daring, Strange is the very antithesis of Miss Norrell. So begins a dangerous battle between these two great men, which overwhelms that between England and France, and their own obsessions and secret dabblings with the dark arts are going to cause more trouble than they can imagine.
but it is just amazing. It's like, it's not Harry Potter magic, it is old magic, but you still have like spells and stuff in there, and Mr. Norrell is a bit of a moody old man. So he's a character that you don't fall in love with. I love Jonathan Strange. Jonathan Strange is my favourite character, and in the plot line it isn't just about the quarrel between them. There's actually danger, there's elves, there's like spells, enchantments that need to be broken and stuff, and there is also travel into another realm. So definitely a good read. It is basically 1,000 pages, so if you have time, definitely pick it up, but it's one that you really need to invest time in. I mean, not really, you can like pick it up and put it down again, but there's a lot of like descriptions in there, so you need to like, but it's amazing, definitely another favourite. These two will be like on my bookshelves till I'm basically old and wrinkly, because they're like such good books. Next one is actually one that came out earlier this year. It just screams either between Hunger Games and iZombie. It's like futuristic, like Black Mirror stuff. And this is Early Riser by Jasper Ford. I forgot to say this is by Susanna Carr, but you probably guessed that. And this one is about hibernation. So it's set in the UK but way in the future. But I feel like at the same time it's still present, but like alternative universe future kind of thing. And it says every winter the human population hibernates. During those bitterly cold 4 months, the nation is a snow-draped landscape of desolate loneliness, devoid of human activity. Well, not quite. Your name is Charlie Worthing and it's your first season with the Winter Consoles, the committed but mildly unhinged group of misfits who are responsible for ensuring the hibernatory safe passage of the sleeping masses. You're investigating an outbreak of viral dreams which you dismiss as nonsense, nothing more than a quirky artifact born of the sleeping mind. When dreams start to kill people, it's unsettling. When you get the dreams too, it's weird. When they start to come true, you begin to doubt your sanity. Teasing truth from winter is never easy. You have to avoid the villains and their penchant for murder, kidnapping and stamp collecting. Ensure you aren't eaten by night walkers who thirst for human flesh, can only be satisfied by comfort food, besides the increasingly less than mythical winter hulk. So it's kind of like fantasy / zombie. So the night walkers are zombies basically. Every winter, because they get so cold, you have to go into hibernation, and there's this sort of group of science people that made this drug which force you to not have dreams, so you sleep easily throughout winter, but sometimes people die in their sleep and then they become night walkers, which is basically like a state of brain deadness. And the Winter Consoles are basically like the army. They protect the people from like all these creatures and stuff. It was really good, but the dreams are not what I thought it'd be. It was much better than my presumptions, and the ending was amazing. Like, you get so invested in Charlie, you root for him and other characters, and you actually feel sad when some people die. Yeah, there's a bit of death in here, but it's just, I just love this book. And even though it's a hardback, and I don't like hardbacks because there's no sleeve, it didn't annoy me. And I read this when I was feeling quite sick, so I wolfed this down because I had nothing else to do in the day, and it's generally one of my favourite books. Plus the cover is so pretty. So I definitely recommend this if you're looking for something very different and something quite fantastical, which I think most of my books in this video are, but yeah, definitely worth it. It is £20 though, the most expensive book I've ever bought that is a fiction book. So, but totally worth every single pound I spent on this. So, yeah. And the last book I want to talk about is a very light-hearted book. If you want to stay away from serious plots and stuff, then I think you guys will absolutely love Louise Penton's World Like Me. I haven't actually picked up the second book yet because I can't find it. I've been searching everywhere, and I don't know if it's because it was a limited number of prints and my local stores just didn't get it, but yeah, I'm really sad about that. But the first one is amazing. It's very light-hearted, very sort of Lindsay Kelk / Sophie Kinsella-like, in that sort of really cozy, light-hearted way that makes you want to laugh and smile. And I just love Robin Wilde's character. You really root for her, and her like relationship with her daughter is amazing. The really short description is: meet Robin Wilde, awesome single mum, aspiring makeup artist, good friend. From the outside things look just fine, but Robin has a secret. And the secret is, I can't remember the secret. I feel like it's something you're like, that's not really a secret, don't feel bad about that, you're awesome, you go girl, that sort of vibe. And I just love the fact that she's a makeup artist, and I really love her going to like different jobs as well. And she does find romance. I'm not going to tell you what happens. It's just one that I just want to pick up again and again and read. Like, I'm ready to read that all over again, even though I've not long actually read it. So that is all the books that I feel like you guys should really pick up this season. A lot of them are quite magical, like I said, but they're just basically the cream of the crop, and I just feel like they're going to be my bookshelves for the rest of my life. And yeah, comment below if you have a favourite book yourself that I probably haven't read. And I do actually have a Goodreads account, which I will link in the description box below. So if you guys want to see what books I'm reading without having to wait for me to do like a once every 2 month book blog post, then definitely check it out. And give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the notification bell below to get updates when next upload. And I guess I will see you next week for another video. I love you so much. Bye bye.